This is the biggest and most economically significant trade deal that the UK has made since leaving the EU. And I think I can say that it's one of the most comprehensive deals that India has ever done.
Even before the ink has dried on one of India's biggest trade deals, attention has shifted to the pending mega free trade agreement with the United States, the world's largest economy. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal says the two countries are making fantastic progress, adding that he is confident a consequential deal will be reached soon. He also expressed hope that India's first mover advantage will secure special and preferred treatment.
India is negotiating to protect the interests of our farmers, of our MSMEs, of our workers, of our startups, and at the same time opening the doors for preferential access to developed countries so that we can provide new opportunities and increase jobs, increase business, increase trade with these developed countries and help us in our journey towards Viksit Bharat 2047.
To understand what comes next, Business Today TV spoke to some of the biggest names in the Indian industry. The deadline for Trump tariffs is now set for August 1st. But after 5 rounds of talks and endless statements, there's still no sign of a deal. Another round of negotiations is now scheduled for late August. Industry leaders, meanwhile, believe some hurdles could have been eased by the India-UK trade agreement already in place.
This trade deal, in my opinion, is going to be acting as a kind of a template for India going forward. And it's also interesting that it's happening under that context of Donald Trump becoming president and removing the bilateral trades across the world and, of course, against China, mainly against Chinese exports. And that's where India will have, at least India would want to have similar trade deals with US, Europe, and Japan, while as it already has a free trade agreement with Australia.
Indian exports currently face a 10% base tariff plus an additional 26% reciprocal tariff if no agreement is reached on time. Key sticking points remain unresolved. These range from India's reliance on cheap Russian oil and historic tensions with Pakistan to disputes over digital rights, data localization, and India's insistence on protecting farmers and the dairy sector.
I think India is very keen to close the deal as well, as much as the US side is. Inviting them to do more investments in India, setting up bases here, transfer of technology. I think they are all going to get very high marks and big thumbs up. Issue which will be contentious, as we all know, is agriculture, is dairy. So this is some areas where I think you may go into phase 2 and get an early harvest through an interim deal in the coming days.
My understanding is India has put its best foot forward, and it is on the desk of the president. And what we are hearing is he would like to expand this deal. I like to emphasize that you don't want India getting isolated, because what happens is if Japan is getting 15% and if basically Philippines is getting 19%, then India has an opportunity to drive this to a lower level, and which would be an encouragement for US companies to leverage their supply chain by moving manufacturing into India.
There are growing signs that India may not wait for a sweeping, comprehensive pact and could pursue smaller sector-specific agreements first. What's also working in India's favor? A strong bond between the business communities of both nations, the influence of the Indian diaspora in the United States, and deepening cooperation in space and defense sectors. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe. If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.